where it was taking you from, make sure that you stand in the right place, so for them to see like what we did out here. When I showed you the building and we saw the walls and the gates and everything, just please remember where I was standing, so that if I would have stood on the other side, you would not understand what I was talking about. All right? Try to, as much as possible, to use your materials in the right angle and place and whatever. Okay? Yofi, welcome to Sergei's courtyard. I hope you're impressed. It was beautifully renovated lately, and I'm very, very happy that is now open to the public, because for many years it was closed. And here is where I would like to talk a little bit about this building in general, and also about politics. All right, because this is the most interesting, if you ask me, most interesting thing about the Russian company. So first of all, I hope that you see and guess that this was definitely not just a regular hostel. And this hostel was meant for the high-class families, sometimes even the family of the king, the Tsar, who came to visit Jerusalem and stay in the Russian compound. So of course they did not stay with the commons, right? I'm gonna have to move you a little bit, because you're standing, it's okay to stand, but you block all the view around. So if you can just move a little bit there. Toda raba. So remember this fellow when we were talking about the women hostel? So you can compare to a room in Sergei hostel for the high class people. Why the name Sergei, and who is Elizabeta? So Sergei was the Tsar to become Tsar. Hair, that's the word? Hair, right? Air, you don't hear the H, right? It's like corpse, you don't hear the P. What's with this language? Okay, so the heir of the Tsar, Sergei, he was the one who built this building, as you can see, quite late, 1890. Say hello to Sergei. Sergei was married to a lovely lady named Elizabeth. She was British. Half our family was German. It was a mixed marriage, which you are probably familiar with, with the kings in the different countries would marry each other in order to strengthen their connections. Nobody really asked the youngsters if they want to marry. And that's exactly what happened here. The German/British made their daughter, Elizabeth, to marry Sergei. Now, most of the times, these marriages did not really work out so well. I mean, they would stay because you needed to keep the connections, but all of them had, other lovers from other places. But here, I don't know what happened. Cupid was working really hard. It worked out so well. They fell in love with each other. And she converted, Elizabeth converted to Orthodox Christianity. You need to convert. She was Anglican and she had to convert. She changed her name from Elizabeth to Yelizaveta to become Russian. And she was Lady Diana of the Russian people. She gave a lot of money in order to build houses for orphanages, for orphans, and also spread a lot of food around the country for the poor. They loved her, mamash. I will talk about, I'll tell you what happened at the end, but before we do that, just try to imagine how gorgeous this courtyard was. They had a bathhouse right here. That's why you have the chimney here, the steam and everything. The stove, the bathhouse. They have a bakery right here. The gorgeous tower that you see here, which has a twin on the other side, or restrooms. Really amazing. 1890 having restrooms. I mean, so impressive. Not just a pit outside the house, but like this. So it was very clear that Jerusalem became very important for the Russians at the end of the 19th century. So if Sergei, the heir, is going to put so much money in here, and also building this, coming here to be hosted here, this is really impressive. I'm saying this because this is exactly the time when the Russians and the Greeks made very strong connections, because I want to remind you that religiously they're very close, the Russians and the Greeks. Now, since the Greeks have many strong connections in the country since the Byzantine period, it was very good for the Russians to count on them, and that's why, for example, the local Greeks were those to take care of the pilgrims, the thousands of pilgrims that used to come from Russia. I think when we were told, did we talk about when we were in Rehavia, talking about the lands, who they belonged to? Was it with you. We did, right? The fact that the Greek Orthodox had thousands of dunams all around is because they needed to grow. I'm sure I talked about it with you guys. They had to grow wheat, olives, right, etc. For the pilgrims, for the Russian pilgrims. Okay, so 1905. We're at the beginning of the 20th century. One day, Elisabetta